Welcome to another episode of the ReviewFix podcast. This is Patrick Hickey Jr., editor-in-chief of ReviewFix.com, joined by the uber awesomeness of Juan De Jesus. What's up, Juan?
You know, I know I am awesome, but I consider myself more of a nerdy pugilist.
Oh, okay.
For those people who know pugilist, kudos to you.
There you go. Somebody was on dictionary.com this morning.
I actually have one of those day calendars, and
Nice.
pugilist came up today.
No, it's a great word. Oh my
So
God.
what's up, man?
Oh, there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like, people aren't thinking.
You know someone who is thinking?
Who?
People at AMC.
How so?
You want to know why? Because they know they're losing the big hit in Breaking Bad in just 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks, Breaking Bad ends.
Ugh.
You want to know what they announced? They announced a prequel to Breaking Bad in the form of Better Call Saul Goodman, attorney at law. So it's going to tell the story of Saul Goodman, maybe how he met Gus Fring, how he met Mike, and how he eventually got to be the guy who knows a guy who gets walked to that guy. And I think it's genius. You know, one half of Mr. Show right there, Bob Odenkirk. No, let's be for real. The guy's funny. He's one of the best parts of that show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I really would like to see some new Mr. Show.
Just the success of spin-offs is just so low.
I know, but this is Saul Goodman. Every time he's on the scene, you know? And there's a bunch of comedians that's making the show a lot better.
That's true.
Have you noticed? You know, you got Huel.
I can't believe Bill Burr is on the show. Yeah, that's
I know.
ridiculous.
And he's not even being a dick half the time, which is classic Bill Burr right
Yeah,
there.
uh-huh. You want some containers? You want to go to the container store?
But tell me, who is acting crazy? Because I've been hearing a lot of crazy shit lately, man.
Russell Martin and Colin Kaepernick, the quarterbacks for the Seattle Seahawks and San Francisco 49ers, apparently they made a bet earlier this week on Electronic Arts' YouTube channel that whoever loses their game this Sunday has to shave off one of their eyebrows.
I really, really hope that Russell Martin loses. One, because the guy I'm facing in my fantasy football league is playing Russell Martin. And two, because I got Kaepernick, who I hope really does well, but I'd rather he gives the ball to Frank Gore so he can run a couple of yards.
Dude, it's like every fantasy football league is actually like this show, The League. It's exactly like that.
You want to know what's worse? 9 of the 12 members of my league, because we're a full league. We're not like some bullshit 8-man league like the league. Right? Just saying. Get a full league, guys, where you got to go into the depth charts.
Oh,
right?
Man.
You know, we sit by each other within like 5 feet of each other, and shit gets nasty.
Oh,
shit gets nasty
God.
real fast. It's like, oh, why did you start Rodgers? What the fuck was wrong with you? Why did you not start Rodgers? But man, he did start Rodgers, and who did he start? I forgot who he started. I know it's not Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
and that's explanation enough to tell me that we shouldn't be friends anymore.
Last year, I was in a league that I was the commissioner and stuff like that, and I would purposely call whenever I could the guy that I was playing at 12:30 on Sunday and try and keep him on the phone for 20 minutes so he could make his last roster check.
You know what really gets me is that any moment and it just blows up in your face.
Yeah.
You know, and it really is, you know, I really do think that moment where you hope that guy gets hurt, but next week you need him because he might make it easier. You know, it makes fantasy football fun, and it makes you want to watch more football, but it's just fucking nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know?
Last week, I was down by 25 points with only Victor Cruz left, and I'm yeah, I lost this game. Cruz's heel is hurt, and it's I have to watch the game because I'm covering the NFL for NBC this year. I'm writing a weekly column, and it's fuck, man, I'm screwed. And then Victor Cruz goes off, and I'm
ballistic. It's like the guy I was playing. I was up. It was because Peyton Manning had a stellar.
Oh yeah, 7 touchdown passes.
Points, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
But no one else showed up to play, except Steve Gostkowski. The kicker shows up to play and the quarterback, and everyone else is I'm chilling. Right? So I'm sitting there, and he's just getting points from fucking Eli Manning, and all of a sudden I'm wait, I got Brandon Myers. Eli, just throw it to Brandon Myers. Every point you get to him gets me 2 points.
That's why I would never pick like a Saints wide receiver like the week that I played Drew Brees. Never.
It's just kind of productive. By the way, he started Tony Romo. He didn't start Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Romo had a decent week, but I think Aaron Rodgers had more points than he did.
He has 16 points according to ESPN Fantasy Football League. Aaron Rodgers dropped 24.
Yeah.
That was without the D'Angelo Williams recount.
That's
whatever.
My quarterback.
This isn't the league. This is Review Fix. And let's get back on top.
Meanwhile. Yeah, so what else is going on with you? Any crazy people on your end?
No. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this whole, and I know I'm dragging it back up because of the whole Batfleck thing. Mm-hmm. But I just can't stop hearing some people going, oh my God, this is good because he's a good actor and Argo and The Town. But then all of a sudden someone goes, yeah, but Phantoms. And I go, yeah, but he was the shit in Phantoms. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I go, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And they look at me like, what the fuck is that?
He was the shit in Phantoms. That's a great movie.
I know. But what do you think? Do you think this hate is it's not unprecedented? Because like we've discussed before, the Heath Ledger hate that happened.
Yes, and people were writing in like Warner Brothers when Michael Keaton was named Batman, you know, and they were saying like, how dare you make Mr. Mom fucking Batman and stuff. And I don't know, Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman.
And to be honest, that guy's rage was unadulterated because that was the time when you actually had to write it.
Yes.
And send it into the newspaper and wait a couple of weeks for someone to get to it. You know, so he must have been steeping a bag of tea.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm in the LA Times. I hate Michael Keaton.
Letters probably like written in his own blood, some Marquis de Sade shit, you know? Oh my God.
Sideshow Bob stuff.
Yeah.
We need to stop doing that, Bob.
I have a quick fucking Batman reference joke. Last year I covered the whole season of SNL, and I get to watch dress rehearsal and stuff. So I see the stuff that they cut and whatnot. They were trying to use that Michael Keaton line from the 1989 Tim Burton Batman 4 or 5 times during the season. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts! And every single time they said it, I'm like, this is hilarious. And somehow, some way, it always ended up getting cut until the Martin Short episode. They had like a Larry David like Christmas thing, and it was like making fun of Charlie Brown. And they had a guy playing Michael Keaton, Taron Killam, and he was like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And I was like, that freaking movie was so good, man. That movie was great, man. Nicholson and Keaton.
That's why I think Schumacher, I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know. You know, some people say it was. Some people say they were just rewrites happening on set or things being rewritten just to sell toys. But if you look back at the Tim Burton Batman, which also kind of goes a little bit with our Batfleck discussion, Michael Keaton was serious. He had comedic chops.
Yeah.
He was an actor.
Yes.
Right? So what was the problem? And in the world that Tim Burton made, yeah, it was a little bit campy, but it had a fairly serious overtone.
Absolutely.
Look about the child abuse in by the Cobblepots in Batman Returns.
Yep.
You know, overworking and oversaturation of the workplace in Batman Returns, also with Catwoman as Selena Kyle being an overworked assistant. Greed. You know, just the creation of the Joker was enough to like possibly traumatize a small child. And yet I love that movie. You know, everything about it was perfect because the actors took it seriously without going that extra step. You know, they didn't go full Christian Bale. They went kind of Christian Bale.
And you know, once you go full Christian Bale, I mean, you never go full Christian Bale.
I mean, there's this great little image of him going from like 50 kilograms to like 80 kilograms, back to 30 to like 60 kilograms, and then back up and the guy took his job seriously, and I think people are assuming that Ben Affleck won't take his job seriously. And if you've seen The Town, which he actually had to go back and reshoot some scenes, I remember they delayed it for a little bit. You remember?
I'm sad to say, but I haven't seen The Town.
You haven't seen The Town?
No.
my friend, do yourself the favor, right? Sit down and just get some popcorn or get some nachos or get some carrot sticks. Because I know both you and I are watching our figures. I'm more of a pear shape right now.
Yes, I'm more.
But I'm getting there.
I'm definitely going to go for the carrots. So
no, but the town is good because he directed it and he knew how to get that moment of tension up, which is something that he did perfectly in Argo.
Yeah, Argo. I loved Argo. I really liked Argo a lot.
But let's not.
But they're two different types of movies. Yeah.
No, it's not just that. Let's not cover the sun with our thumb here. He's not directing Superman Batman.
Yeah, I agree.
He's starring in it. It's up to Zack Snyder to decide: is he gonna go full David Goyer, or is he gonna make it his movie? Because his movies haven't been that great.
Yeah, lately, absolutely.
He has his moments of genius, and Superman, Man of Steel, had moments of genius. But
I had the same system, the same way with 300 and The Watchmen. They had moments. Like Rorschach's character in 300 in The Watchmen was awesome, and I loved how close.
It was the personification of the comic book character.
Yeah, one of the only things that was truly a personification of anything, in that movie. So
I think people should give Affleck a shot.
I think so too. I just, what
he's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. The thing I'm worried about though is, can that really work? Can those two personalities work on the big screen?
But let's be honest, he's not that much older than Henry Cavill, is he?
Nah. Well, I remember
this is supposed to be an older, more experienced Batman.
Yeah,
that's why I heard Josh Brolin being thrown around. I didn't mind it, but when I saw that mock-up with the suit, you kind of see it's wow, Josh Brolin is a lot older than Henry Cavill, and is going to show.
Yeah.
So
I think Affleck would work.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's my fault. I think Affleck would work. I think you're spot on.
Because if they're going with the New 52 thing, where Superman is the first one, right? Mm-hmm. If he's the first hero, then how could Batman be active for so long?
Yeah, I agree.
And Batman, Superman. Batman's gonna kick Superman's ass. for give him enough time, he'll do it. And they had the Krypton gas on the ship. You want to know what I say? Superman destroyed half the city in his fight. Luthor comes in as the hero, brings anti-Superman sentiment. Mm-hmm. Batman comes on that shit. He buys the half of the machine that's in India. Spoilers for those people that haven't seen Man of Steel.
People throwing shit at the computer right now.
Right. Bruce Wayne buys one half of the machine. Right. Luthor buys the other half of the machine. Right. And they kind of figure it out from there. Batman has a way to beat Superman.
Oh man.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm a little excited, and yet I'm a little, I'm a little scared. But let's wait and see, because not a single frame of film has been shot. You guys need to calm down.
You know what? I completely agree, but at the same time, it's everyone loved the Avengers, and I liked the Avengers, but I think
there were problems with the Avengers.
Yes, it dragged on, and it was just so slow at first. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Let's be honest. The Avengers did more damage than Superstorm Stanley, right? Mm-hmm. And both just Zod and Kal-El did over $732 billion worth of damage according to the Kinetic Assessment. So, I'm just saying, they did enough damage. And that was only a few blocks on the Avengers. Imagine if they would have taken it to the city.
Yeah.
If you have something like Ultron, like what's coming on, the Age of Ultron sequel, you got to give Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch something to do. If not, you have Hawkeye syndrome, which is something that I thought Jeremy Renner was caught in the fact that he's a guy who shoots arrows. Even Scarlet Witch found a way to get some alien weaponry and start kicking ass that way.
Yeah.
The guy who shoots arrows, and eventually your arrows are going to run out fairly quickly.
Absolutely.
So, what's your power? I run real fast? Great. What am I going to do if there's a giant monster? Run around it real fast and see if you could drag its oxygen out? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Flash has this redeemable quality to him, but it's Quicksilver doesn't.
Yeah, but how are they going to do it if he's Magneto's kid?
Yeah.
How are you going to do those universes? You can't even say the word mutant. in the Avengers, or what I call Disney Marvel universe.
Yeah.
In the Fox Marvel universe, that's all you could talk about.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know, at some point, these two, Fox and Marvel, Disney or Miramax, whoever the hell is putting it out, so many companies, right, have to sit down and just...
They want to share the money.
You know what? There's enough money to go around.
Yeah.
And for all you people that saw Grown Ups instead of Pacific Rim, shame on you.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pacific Rim yet, but I want to. I've heard nothing but good things, and I'm a huge fan of Del Toro's work. Everything I've seen from him, from Kronos, which is like his first movie. It's like everyone speaks Spanish except for Ron Perlman. It's like a really crappy vampire movie, but it's great at the same time.
He's got a chubby for Ron Perlman, admit it.
Yeah, he does. I think he does.
But since you're talking about kaiju here. Did you see the new photo of the Godzilla?
Yes.
The new Godzilla.
Yes.
What'd you think?
It looked like a human or like a dog or something. I don't know. It looked like it had soul. It's hard to explain. It's like it looked
like Godzilla. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think it looked like Godzilla.
Like a modern take on Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way, like the eyes. It had like a dog's eyes, kind of. It looked. Some of the comments were saying that it looked sorrowful, and I kind of agree. I like that there's actually some emotion behind the monster.
And not the 1998 Matthew Broderick piece of garbage with John Reno.
Let's not even mention...
That was just garbage.
Let's not even mention that. And did you see the one in the... I think it was... oh no, I'm thinking King Kong. The Jessica Lange King Kong. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, that was.
But the last King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, was pretty good. I like that one.
It's pretty good if it wasn't 5 hours long.
Yeah. But it's Peter Jackson.
I fell asleep through it twice. I know. But this Godzilla, I think it goes back to that Del Toro love of its history and trying to make it just good enough for the future. So I'm a little excited for this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're in like an age right now where like retro is cool again, and there's a lot of retconning and rehashing and stuff. But if good directors are going to get behind projects, then you know what? I'm all for it. I just don't want to give Yui Bowl like the reins for Godzilla or whatever.
No. He went on Kickstarter. And he's trying to start a Kickstarter to get his money because apparently he was getting money to make these movies in Germany because people get a tax write-off in Germany if you give money towards the making of a movie because you probably take a loss. And if you bet on Yui Bowl, you will take a loss.
Oh, yeah.
I
agree.
The German government had to stop him for a second. It's like, yo, you gotta stop making movies.
He just did a zombie movie, and it's like, I got it to review, and I haven't opened it yet. And then they sent me another copy by accident, and I gave it to somebody, and he was like, that movie was terrible.
They didn't send it to you by accident. They just can't send them out fast enough. But since you're talking about retconning, I don't know if you've seen it, but the new Robocop trailer came out.
No, I didn't see it. I've heard about it, though. How was it?
It's different. And not,
I don't
not
like
in
that.
A way, and it's like when you see your girlfriend after she cuts her hair.
Oh, no.
And she had like a long, beautiful mane of hair that was down to her hips. And then she comes back with this boy cut, and you're like walking by the street, and you're like, hey. And then she's like, hey. And you're like, whoa, what happened? That's what this Robocop trailer is like. Because Lewis is a man, and he's Omar from The Wire. Right? Let that sink in for a second.
God, yeah.
Lewis is a black man, and he's Omar from The Wire.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind.
And he was in, what's it called? Boardwalk Empire, too.
I know.
He's great. I forgot his name. He's a great actor.
We really should know this since we're both nerds.
Yeah, I know. He's a great actor, though. Yeah.
And then you have, Abby Cornish from Sucker Punch and from a couple of other independent movies, who's not a bad actress.
Yeah, she's cute.
Clara Murphy. And Joel Kinnaman, the Swedish sex machine, coming on as Alex Murphy, who looks nothing like Peter Weller, but
who's on Sons of Anarchy now, of all places.
It's just a nerd heaven, that show, right? But they keep his hand. Remember, the classic line is like, "We've managed to salvage the left arm."
Yeah,
and they're like, "No, we talked about total body prosthesis." Robocop, it's like they amputated him from the neck down, right? And they kept his right hand so that when people shook hands with him, they would feel some humanity.
Yes, yes.
You know, and you can see his face. The visor doesn't unplug with the ratchet system anymore, but it comes flying over. And he doesn't have the Beretta 92F with the modified end on it. He has a TM9, which is just a glorified MP7. But Jackie Earle Haley's in it as Maddox, his instructor.
He's such a good actor, Jackie Earle Haley, man.
You know, and now you have Gary Oldman, who's in every reboot that there is possible. Right,
Oh
as there is no Dr. Lazarus anymore, but there's Dr. Norton. You remember Ed Norton, who had to be killed because he made a mistake, is now the doctor who created Robocop.
Oh my god!
Right? And he's not shot to death by Clarence Boddicker. There is no indication of a Clarence Boddicker figure, right? And you know he gets almost killed in a car bomb. You know, and his wife makes a choice to save his life by making him Robocop, which I think brings up the most interesting part of this movie, which is the battle between the image of the machine and the man that's inside it, and the image of the corporation and the people who are in it, which I think is interesting if that's exactly what they want to go, or I may just be reading too much into it because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I was going to say, damn, man, you got like the guns down, you got everything, man. It's like...
So tell me about this, like, since everyone's going crazy, you know, and the internet's still talking about the Robo thing, but I heard the internet talk about some Ric Flair thing. Tell me what went down.
My god. See, this thing, I don't know about this one, because I was in LA a couple of weeks ago playing a new build of the WWE game, and 2K Sports totally spoiled the reporters. They had a WrestleMania symposium, there was a bunch of press conferences, tons of stuff to write about, tons of stuff to see, but during the WrestleMania symposium, apparently they had all these WWE superstars past and present there. Stone Cold, Dolph Ziggler, Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Mick Foley, Paul Heyman, all these guys. And Ric Flair was there, and he was clearly inebriated. Clearly drunk off his ass. And but he was easily the coolest person there. He was telling stories about everything, you know, about his son dying, about he taught Miz the figure four, and he asked Miz, like, why the hell would you want to learn the figure four? No one ever tapped out from it. Like, just really down to earth and funny and stuff, but he really took over the press conference. And Jim Ross, the wrestling announcer, the legendary WWE Hall of Famer wrestling announcer.
The slobber knocker!
It's a slobber knocker! You know, he's great, and he was moderating it. And he lost control of the entire thing. I mean, it was kind of like train wreck. It was a train wreck, but it was a good train wreck. You know, Flair never forgot to, like, sell the product. Like, they're trying to sell the game, and he kept saying how good the WWE was. He made a couple of choice comments saying that, like, you know, he'd love to wrestle John Cena. And then he said, too, that, like, John Cena was a drinker now. Like, he drinks on the road. He can drink with the boys, blah, 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 blah. Like, some kind of iffy comments. And also, in the beginning of the symposium, Jim Ross said something about the fact that his drink was Snapple, and it wasn't, you know, like an alcoholic beverage. And the man has Bell's palsy, so he has trouble speaking at times. But later in the symposium, people were saying that he was slurring words. I didn't hear it. So apparently, JR retired a couple of days ago, and they're saying now that he was let go because apparently he was drunk at the symposium and he couldn't control Ric Flair, who was also drunk. So that's the story.
But is there any that's their justification and their story, but is there anything to corroborate that we know of?
As far as I'm concerned, like, if Flair was such a hindrance during the symposium, I think somebody else would have came out. Like, before the symposium started, Vince McMahon spoke for a couple of minutes, and I know Triple H was there. This was the day before SummerSlam. So Pat Patterson was there, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, all of them. So if Flair was really such a hindrance, why didn't someone come out and just take him away? You know?
Yeah.
Why would you let something like that go on?
That they would stop one of their superstars from doing something or saying something stupid.
Absolutely. And it's like, why would you let why would you force like one of the greatest announcers of all time, and he's also very important backstage. He's helped a lot of guys' careers. Why would you let him go for him failing to control a man that has consistently been uncontrollable? It's Ric Flair. It's a nature boy, you know? It just makes zero sense. And then also, I mean, the event was live on like Twitch TV and like 2K's official site, but we're talking about this wasn't something that was seen by like millions of people. I think like the video has a couple of 100,000 page views, yeah, but it's not like, it wasn't like an episode of Raw that this happened on, or SmackDown, or even like Saturday Morning Slam or WWE Main Event. It was just a web show. So for that to be a reason to let go of Jim Ross, I think the dirt sheets have it wrong. I think it's complete hyperbole.
It's a shame because, he's such a big part of our childhood.
Oh, yeah.
As we say constantly on the show. But he's like a cornerstone of the broadcast. You hate to see him go. You hate to see him retire, period. But to see him retire like this, I think, is a detriment to sports entertainment. And I think it might be a detriment to WWE. I mean, Michael Cole and everyone else, even Bradshaw, they're good, but they're no JR.
Oh, yeah, I agree. There's a couple of other pieces to the puzzle, too, that you have to think about. Like, this symposium was like 3 weeks ago. If something like this happened and it was such a big deal, why wasn't he let go as soon as it happened?
So maybe he did really retire.
Yeah, but then
maybe he got to the office and he couldn't put his a sentence together.
Maybe. I mean, what also happened was the night of the symposium, at the end of the night, he addressed the fact that people were saying that he was slurring. He was saying, listen, I have Bell's palsy and I was tired. It was a long day. I was slurring my words. I was not, like, drinking anything. So, but the fact of the matter is that the fact that he chose to, like, defend himself on Twitter about it is interesting.
But it
doesn't say anything either way.
Himself. He didn't do anything wrong from what you've said.
Yeah.
And for this to come from anyone else, maybe the King, maybe Cole, maybe the guy who went to ESPN, I forgot his name.
Yeah, Jonathan Coachman.
I expect them to fight back and be nasty about it, but not JR. He has a right to defend himself, and he has a medical condition, and if they were getting on him about that, I would be defensive, and I kind of understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. It's just an interesting situation. I mean, it's like wrestling, the storylines often border on, real life situations, and this is one of them. It's like, if this guy, it's like letting go of Babe Ruth because, he showed up to batting practice drunk. It's like, it's Babe Ruth who gives a shit, So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting situation, though.
Ah, man. Kind of spoiled my day right there.
I'm sorry.
So I mean, what else are you looking into anything? Are you watching anything new?
I have to say that like I am anxiously awaiting my review copy of NHL 14. I cannot wait. I've been following the game since the development cycle. I've written like 20 articles on it. I've interviewed the developer and stuff, and it just looks so awesome. There's a new fighting engine. There's a new skating engine. There's just all these cool things. It's going to be such a fun game. I cannot wait to try it out.
Have they picked the cover yet?
Yeah. They picked the cover about a month and a half ago. It's Martin Brodeur from the New Jersey Devils.
Oh,
there's
no curse on this one, is there?
No, there's no curse in the hockey ones. Yeah, only the football ones. But Adrian Peterson kind of squashed the curse last week, so...
for now, it's been 1 week.
Yeah, it's only been 1 week, but he's going to be on the cover of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 version of the game. So Barry Sanders is on the... Yeah, there's 2 versions of the game, so...
That'll be interesting, because Barry can't really get hurt, right?
I think Barry hurt us. I don't think Barry ever got hurt. I think he hurt us. I hate it, man, that he retired so early.
Sometimes you got nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's true. And he was the best, and he didn't pull a Jordan, and he didn't come back 20 times and stuff like that,
And he's not Keith Richards, who's basically a skeleton on stage.
Oh, my God. So, I Oh my god. So you playing anything? You listening to anything? Anything new?
I've been playing Diablo, which means I've lost days of my life. And I will be picking up GTA 5, which I'm really excited about, especially their online component, even though it doesn't launch with the game. It launches in early October. So you have about 3 weeks to play the single player and get all your money's worth. And then you get the online component, which acts as a prequel to the story and comes preloaded with 500 missions that are not similar.
Wow. So
that's pretty exciting. And did you see the map leak
Yes.
of Los Santos?
I love it.
And it includes San Andreas inside of it. So, that's a lot of real estate. And they said, I think IGN reported earlier today that Rockstar North had been planning to take it to this scale for a while. And what a way to send this last generation off with a game that's the size of both San Andreas, right, and what was the other one? San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption, and Vice City combined.
Wow.
They wanted to make it that big. And, cracks in the sidewalks are going to be where they have to be with the people at Rockstar. And I think they really did benefit from Team Bondi, who did L.A. Noire, because some of that acting that I've seen in the trailers,
it's top shelf.
They got it down right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's a shame that Team Bondi doesn't really exist anymore. And that's a whole other issue, a whole other conversation.
Yes.
Right, but
Rockstar just does things right. It's like even from the point of view,
because they care.
Yeah,
it's because they care about the game.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Oh man, there's a stock market and a freaking social network in that game. I mean, how many times have you said to yourself, like, will there ever be a game that has like some type of social significance, some like kind of crossover, something that like adults will go, oh, that, and know what it is, like something besides like Mario? And the answer is Grand Theft Auto. I mean, one game has like Sony and Microsoft shitting their pants, like having them second guess the release of their new consoles. When does that ever happen?
Very, very rarely. In fact, it only really happens with Nintendo. Where they go, oh, we're going to launch with a Mario, or we're going to, now with Luigi, who's taking on a bigger role, or we're going to launch with Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I think Halo wasn't a launch title, but it damn sure was for the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I agree.
And they made sure that game was out. And you know what? It wasn't the best of the Halos, but they eventually patched it and they made it better. To see people rallying around something like GTA, which comes from a studio that has done only one thing wrong, in my opinion, that's a random car generation, where you spend all day looking for like a Viper, and you can't fucking find one. You find one, and now it's everywhere. Just saying, Rockstar, you should have gotten that right.
Oh my
That's the one thing you did wrong by me.
Oh man.
Oh man, I'm out of juice, man.
You're out of juice. Oh man, so I think on that note, it's been a pleasure as always, Juan. So what we'll do is we will catch you guys next week, guys, for another episode of the ReviewFix.com podcast. Patrick Hickey Jr. here, and for Juan De Jesus, have a good one.
Oh man, I gotta go set my lineup now.
We could stay on the phone for like another 20 minutes or so.